Lesson 7-2, solving multi-step equations. All right, so we know how to solve a one-step equation. For example, 4 plus x equals 8. I just want to undo the addition because I want x all by itself. So I'm going to subtract 4 from each side. X equals 4 is my answer. In the last lesson, 7-1, we learned how to solve a two-step equation. So a two-step equation, just like the term, has two steps. For example, 2x plus 3 equals 9. Well, first we talked about undo the constant. So the constant is the whole number without the variable. I'm going to subtract 3 in this case. I'm left with 2x equals 9 minus 3, which is 6. Final step is get rid of any coefficients or numbers attached to a variable. Since this is 2 times x, I'm going to divide by 2 to both sides. My final answer is x equals 3. So that's a two-step equation because there were 2 steps to get our solution. All right, in this lesson we're solving multi-step, meaning there might be more than 2 steps. There's multiple steps. There are 2 different kinds of problems we'll look at today, and we'll go through an example of each. All right, the first thing you might need to do in a multi-step equation is combine like terms. Remember, like terms are what we call the same families. So apples and oranges. They can't be added together, but we can combine all apples, we can combine all oranges, we can combine like terms. In this example here, we have a couple constants. Those are the numbers without a variable. 10, 11, and 141. We also have some coefficients that have the same like terms. So 3x and 12x are like families because they both have the variable of x. So we can combine anything that is alike. So first I'm going to combine our 2 constants on the left side of our equal sign. 10 plus 11 is 21. We still have 141 over here on the right. Now I'm going to combine my x family. So I have 3 x's and 12 x's. Well, that makes 15 x's. Now we have a two-step equation. So the first step was combining like terms. Now it looks like an example from our last lesson. First, get rid of the constant. So I'm going to subtract 21 from both sides. When I do that, 141 minus 21 is 120. On the left hand of my equal sign, I still have my 15x. To get rid of that coefficient, I'm dividing by 15. And when I divide by 15, I come up with x equals 8. So there was a multi-step equation. All right, here's a word problem example. Jake and Suki collect model airplanes. Suki had 4 fewer than twice as many model airplanes as Jake. Together they have 14 models. Solve the equation m plus 2m minus 4 equals 14. Find the number of models each person has. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this equation. Models plus 2 models minus 4 equals 14. We just want to solve for m. This is a multi-step equation where we have to combine like terms. So looking at this problem, anything that's alike looks like I have 2 terms with the last name or variable of m. I can combine those because they are alike. I can't combine the minus 4 because that we call like the no-name family. They don't have a variable attached. So 1m, because you can assume there's a 1, plus 2m is 3m. Write the rest of your equation. Minus 4 equals 14. Now I have a two-step equation. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. 3m equals 18. Divide by 3 to both sides. Remember what I do to one side, I do to the other. M equals 6. Then when we put this back into the equation, let's see, Jake and Suki collect model airplanes. Suki has 4 fewer than twice as many model airplanes as Jake. Together they have 14 models. Solve the equation. So you would just put 6 back in to find out how many Jake and Suki have once you know your value for m. All right. The second type of multi-step equation is when we have to use the distributive property. Remember that is something like this. If I'm adding something in the parentheses and this whole group is being multiplied by a, this is the same thing as multiplying my a to the b, adding, because of whatever's in the parentheses, my a times my c. That's the distributive property. So sometimes you need to distribute before we can solve. So in this example A, 2 is being multiplied to the whole grouping, 5x minus 3. So we need to distribute 2 to both parts in the parentheses. So 2 times 5x is 10x. We write a minus sign because that's what's going on in the parentheses. And 2 times 3 is 6. Then I write the rest of my equation, equals 14. Now again, we have a two-step equation. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. I get 10x equals 20. Divide by 10. Notice I'm showing all my work. X equals 2. Let's do another example. This one's smaller. I'm going to rewrite it. 38 equals negative 3, which is being multiplied to the whole group, 4y plus 2 plus y. So first we need to distribute the negative 3, don't forget the negative, to everything in this grouping. So I'm going to start by rewriting the 38 equals negative 3 times 4y is a negative 12y. Then I'm going to do it this way, negative 3 times positive 2 is a minus 6. And then this part just gets added on at the end, plus y. This is going to take some more steps. We can combine like terms. I see some like terms that include y's. I have a positive y and a negative 12y. Rewriting my equation, negative 12 plus 1y is a negative 11y, and I still have my minus 6. I'm going to add the constant to get rid of that. 38 plus 6 is 44, equals negative 11y. Divide by negative 11 to get y by itself. Y is going to be a negative 4. So that problem took quite a bit of steps. All right, let's do one more example. Distributing the negative 3 to all parts in the parentheses. Negative 3 times m, negative 3m. Negative 3 times negative 6, I'm looking at the sign in front of the number, is a positive 18, and that's equal to 4. Now I have a two-step equation. Subtract my constant. I have negative 3m equals 4 minus 18, which is negative 14. Divide by negative 3. You can use your calculator as long as you're showing your work. M equals 4 and 2/3. Remember, you can always put this back into the equation to check your answer. So, when you have a multi-step equation, remember, sometimes if you have to distribute, you have to do that first. The combining like terms will come after you distribute. Then you're undoing your addition or subtraction. And second, you undo your multiplication or division. That's kind of like our do and undo charts. Usually when we have to multiply and then subtract, we start by undoing the addition or subtraction first and then multiplying and dividing. So that's why these steps are in that order. So remember these. I'm going to skip this example. So in your lesson check for homework, I would like you to ignore problem number 4 and just come to class with problems 1 through 3. Good luck!